being considered is we are running the last heat of the quarters. And it is on. Faro, Ezzy, Rodiger, Juban. I see Bant. Did Bant have like those little like black spots under his eyes, football player mode?
No, I'll go baseball player mode.
Okay, baseball player mode. Batter up.
That's exactly what I said to him earlier. I go, dude, you look like you're ready to take a nice, hot, sunny day at the park hitting baseballs.
He's going to be hitting lips, is what he's going to be hitting. Here comes Camille Juban, speaking of hitting lips. With Faro behind him. Here comes Juban on the high line. Gets his tweak air over the section. Beautiful riding right off the bat. Faro behind him. That's Faro's first hit. Wisely sailed. Good positioning for Faro. Faro with the floater. Back in. Russ getting it done on this first wave. Not quite as radical as Juban, but a well-sailed wave. And here is Bant Rodinger on the hot sail Flicka board combo. Nice vertical hit. Tries to force the Taka around and does so accordingly like it was nothing. Did you see how he forced that around? Rodinger's on the board in the biggest way early off what had been considered like a crappy little wave and turned it into a score. And that's what the greats can do. Outside, Graham Ezzy is casually eyeing up one of the best waves of the event so far. What's your plan? Plan A, hit lip. Plan A, hit second lip, air over section. Will he make wave? Looking decent. I think he's got it for the kick out. Graham Ezzy on an absolute nug. By the time he rode it, it had kind of turned into a little bit of a different look, but that thing before he hit it looked like easily one of the best waves of the contest. No rotational moves, nothing super, super radical, but nonetheless. And in Heat 16, we have our results. And rounding out the first semi is infamous Kai Lenny, first place. Takara Ishii, second. Mauricio edges Swift for third on the strength of that last wave he caught. And we're going to be settling the result in Jake Shedaway's heat shortly. Was that Campello, Ishii, Shedaway, and Antoine Martin? We will soon find out as Camille Juban absolutely destroys that section and Bant Rodinger behind him as Juban continues. It hits the inside and Juban does the look back air. Perfect make. Now we've got Rodinger. And he skies the goiter over this section like it was nothing at all. His second rotation of the heat. And that was a major exchange, if there ever was one. Yeah, Camille just went ham on that section. Juban went nuts on that wave. And then right behind him, Rodiger. Kai Lenny's in the semi, and his next encounter is going to be no joke. Marcilio Brown, Morgan Noiro, Kai Lenny, and Takari Ishii. Oh, man. You're looking at a battle there.
It's going to be fun to watch.
I might have to put some bets down. I'm going to call my bookie in Vegas, yo.
The Ninth Island.
Yo, Coach Cheese, what's my odds on Lenny? What you got for me, T? Great, we'll take the goiter on repeat, and then we'll announce the result. There's Juban with that grower right there with the look-back air right before we switched. That was a look-back air. Keep it here, and there's Rodinger. Ba-boom. Not a drop of hair out of place. All right. Live action. Camille Jubon fading into a decent one. He's seen better, but this is a heat, folks. So, yeah, maybe, no, not up to standard. We have results. Jake Shedaway in first place with Antoine Martin in second, Ishii and Campello in fourth. We will let that marinate, and the competitors who are moving on, congratulations. And the competitors who have been eliminated, good sailing, keep your chin up, and on to the next. Thank you for participating. Graham Ezzy on another super nice wave on below, but Jubon owns the inside here. And he punches a 360, but he doesn't have enough momentum to make it back in. Meanwhile, Graham Ezzy kicks out with a little extra body English.
That's exactly what I was saying. In that area right now, this time of the day, that's getting pretty deep. As Camille comes in, nice little aerial. And then again, same thing, softens up right there. He's going to get another hit off of this, though. But he can't put in the power turn that he wanted to. Guys can see the wind's kind of moved off again. A little lull in the wind for the... You can see the guys just pumping their sail for anything right now.
Russ Farrow finally on a backup wave. Let's see what Russ has to measure up to his competitors here. He kind of got blocked by Camille there. Not enough, though. Nice turn for Farrow. Really brought his rail around there. But you look at Russ in comparison to Graham, Bat, and Camille, and Russ is really going to need to step up his game here and get on better waves and ride them more aggressively than that. And he's capable of that.
He is very capable of it. That was a tough way to ride aggressively, though, in my opinion.
Rodinger on a glassy one. Holding his high line tight and nice rebound. I'm going to say this about Rodinger's riding. You know, in this new era of his, fantastic rail work with the Flicka boards. It's really changed his riding into this more decisive, precise type of sailing. I think that he's a lot closer to riding the way he sees himself riding than he's ever been before. He's really in touch with what he's doing.
You couldn't have said that better, because he has a different feel of riding waves than I've seen in a lot of people. You can... He makes everything look really simple.
You know, on that subject, Rob, you know, you can tell when people are in sync with what they're doing, and they're in sync with their gear and their approach. And there are a number of riders who are there, and there are a number of riders who seemed like they're not as in touch with the, you know, the elements, but they use the gear aspect to overcome that. But Bant's a perfect example of both, because it's unorthodox to be, you know, sticking with a certain volume and, you know, riding a certain dimension of gear that might not really be as efficient. But I say efficient in the overall scheme of riding, but when he's on a wave, I can just shut up about efficient, because he's more than, it's proficient. And he's geared for a certain type of wave.
Yeah, you say that, and it's funny because he local knowledge really helps him too. But the gear, everything about his whole aura of his wave riding is just same with him surfing and all that too.
Russ Faro, H. Poco Point. This might be the one I was talking about. Nice air over this section, Russell. Wrap that puppy around. I like that. Nice power stance for Faro, who's in a battle and he knows it.
Yeah, he did that well down at that end soft spot again. He used his rail to pull him back into the meat of the wave. Nice wave, Russell Faro.
This heat deciding our final 2 riders for the top 8, which sounds like this so far. Brown, Noiro, Kai Lenny, Takara Ishii, Jake Shedaway, Antoine Martin.
Just under 7 minutes left.
2 more riders making that top 8. We'll see who they are out of this heat. Rob, squall check. Whenever I see that wind drop, I gotta know what's happening upwind. This is nervous moments here. We don't want to lose the wind. Anything but another squall. Did you see what happened yesterday on the squall in the live feed? It went black.
I was here.
Well, I couldn't see you.
I know it was raining so freaking hard. But upwind of us, it's still looking pretty good. You have a cloud that's kind of holding over Haiku area, which is pretty much, if you see where we're sitting, it's over our left shoulder. But it's not really doing too much. It's going to let the wind fill in here shortly. But right now, the wind is just kind of turned straight offshore.
It has done the dreaded offshore shift, hasn't it? Oh, dear. Well, we have the right sailors in the water for that. One of them being Camille Jubon, possibly the world's most efficient light wind sailor.
This is where your surfing ability takes over on your wave riding. As Camille bottom turns into this little nugget and off the top. He has hardly any wind on this wave, and look what he does. He still makes something out of it. So if you surf and surf a lot, you are going to be able to ride in really light winds. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. You see somebody who's as light on his feet as Camille, and you realize that they're actually able to kind of feel the contour of the wave with their feet. I can't put it any differently. Here is Graham Ezzy on what is going to be a great looking wave for him if he can just time this right. Look at this glassy Hukipa wall. Graham Ezzy bottom turns under it. Beautiful hit here. He's going upwind because he's not buying into that second hit stuff. And that was a great way to approach it. Do the left fade and then the whitewater hit. Nice wave for Graham, who has a couple nice rides in this heat already.
Yeah, he did everything he could with that wave. That was
very smart of him not to go down the line guy on the second hit. We've seen too many bobbles there. Here's Bant Rodinger in the middle. Out. Faro down low. Oh. Kind of a stocky air. Got himself way downwind on that hit.
I think he mistimed it himself. He didn't look comfortable on that.
Maybe he looked too comfortable.
Well,
you don't get points for comfortable unless you've done something on a big wave with that casual thing.
Hence, Bant Rodinger.
Action on the outside. What do we got? Let's see. Bant Rodinger is pumping furiously for what looks like to be a very good wave, and Camille Jubon's outside of him, which is beginning to kind of be the body of work in this heat. Rodinger's already cashed in on some rotations. Now he can kind of free his mind and let his board follow. Jubon right after him. Here comes Bant. Beautiful rail work. Nice redirect off the whitewater. Violent redirect. Here comes Jubon. Is he ready to take to the sky? He has chased this thing excessively. No dice. Graham Ezzy at the point. Ezzy needs a good one here. Diagonal drop into a one-handed goiter, almost make. I mean, just give us a little wind, Graham. That was a great attempt.
Yeah, that was Mother Nature, not him.
Yes. What that was.
Down to about 2:30 left in this heat. Been a pretty good heat for the lack of wind.
It's definitely been scrappy. And the guy has kind of kept the intensity. I want to mention Russ Faro, who's, factoring into this just by nature of his scrappiness. He's not going anywhere. He's in a battle. He knows his hands are full. Could he be one score away from toppling Jupon or Rodinger? And I don't mean to leave Ezzy out of this equation, but maybe after that last wave, the momentum swung a little bit away from him. Here comes Jupon, pumping on his way in, slowly build, and we have reached that moment where we are in the semi-finals. The goal was to be, sailing the final at 1:30. It is 1:20 now in the afternoon. I do feel like we are going to stick with this. We really, after this heat, only have 3 more heats of pro men to get that result that we so much want today to get and try and wrap this thing up. We can't wrap it up until Camille Jupon, with 1 minute left, answers. Lip-hitting machine. Just not enough wind for that second hit.
Yeah, Russell off the end in front of the rocks. He's trying to chase down this lip down here that's running from him. Nice hit on that, nice floater through, but it's just going to be pretty much a one-hit wonder. And now he's back into the area. Well, the heat's probably done for him anyways, or everyone now, because there's no way they're getting into a wave with 30 seconds left.
Yep, this heat's done and dusted. No more action from our competitors here. That's it. And we await the results of quarterfinal number 4. That was the last quarter.
Building pretty good, though. He's going to definitely get a score off of this. Oh, I was wrong. He kicks out of it really quick. He's being patient is the only thing I can say. He's just waiting for that right wave for him to come through. Like we said, you only need 2 good scoring waves.
Well, 2 good scoring waves was enough for Graham Ezzy, who has advanced into the semis, along with Camille Jupon over Rodiger and Faro. Heat 18. That was a corker. I feel like Rodinger, with the rotational moves in that, maybe needed to do those on like slightly bigger consequential waves, but I am looking at that. It had to have been really close.